one is a very popular question, and it is the billion-dollar question, I'm going to call it. How do I get better at sex? We've had many different ways of people asking us this question, and it goes back to our conversation already where everybody's different. So there's no blanket statement on how to get better at sex. The first thing I can think of is to get to know your partner the best you possibly can. Talk to them, communicate, ask what turns them on, what turns them off, what is something that you've done that they really loved, what is something that they think you can improve on. It's that constant feedback loop that will help you improve your sex life with the person that you're having sex with. Julie and I sitting here cannot tell you how to have the best sex of your life, but we can tell you how to have really good sex with us.
I think, though, that also a piece of it is that, like, kind of what you were just saying of you feel this pressure to be like the sex kitten, right? And like to do performative and to try all the positions and do all this. I personally think it comes down to enthusiasm and, you know, just having fun at the end of the day. Like, that's what makes good sex, when both partners are just really freaking excited to be there and present. I think, like, and I mean, we'll go into all of it, but it's like if one person is not in the mood or in that place and the other is, that's when there's a lot of tension. I think when we can find those times when both people are like, you know, ready to go, do this and having a good time. I think like even inviting laughter into the bedroom, like things that like you would never see in the movies. I feel like anything you see in the movies, throw out. And you know, like, especially Sex Life, that TV show, like, it was like the most unrealistic portrayal of sex I've ever seen in my life.
Especially during COVID.
Yes.
I cannot watch some of those scenes knowing COVID's out there. Like wait, sanitize.
Like the train track ones. Are you looking to die? Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, what?
Yeah, my basic needs aren't being met, so please take it out of my vagina. I'm trying to survive here.
So I think, though, just like, you know, bringing that lightheartedness to it, I think it's all about the vibe and energy and connection that you're having. And like Yue said, too, just having those conversations, the only way is through communication.
There's a common misconception that the more sexual partners you've had, the better you are at sex. And I can tell you that is absolutely not true. The best sex I've had before my current partner was with someone who had only been with one person his whole life. And the reason why our sex was so good was that he was so great at communication and so great at being attentive to my needs. And it had nothing to do with him having multiple partners. He's only been with one other person before me.
I absolutely second that, because I think sex between two people is different. Like, it doesn't, you know, I think I was actually having this conversation with my partner of like, you know, like, how do you know, like, if you love being in a relationship versus like a relationship with the other person? And I think sex is the same thing too. It's like, do you love sex or sex with that person? And I almost think, like, obviously everyone's going to be like, I love sex in general, or I love being in a relationship because I like being with the person. But I think it almost is one and the same, minus just the pure fact of doing it versus not, because you're in a relationship with that other person, and then your relationship with another person would look totally different. And I think the same goes for sex. It's like you and that person are having a sexual relationship, and that looks totally different than if they were to have that with someone else. So if you look at it that way, it really doesn't matter how many partners they've had, because what you guys have is unique at the end of the day.
Yep. And every new person you have sex with, treat it like it's something so new and fresh. And so we're talking about people who are in relationships, but even if you are having one night stands or having these short-term situationships, how can you get better at sex? Again, it's having the intentions of having fun, keeping it in the present. Stop pressuring yourself. Stop thinking about, oh, I have to orgasm, or she has to orgasm, or he has to orgasm. Don't think about the end product. Just have fun in the moment and experiment and have that constant feedback loop. And you should be good. You should be good to go.